Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and I am back with another game of our amateur Tuesday nights here. In this game, we will be spawning on MLG Metalopolis with our last King of the Hill match. Now, King of the Hill means that the winner of the last game will advance to the next game until they'll just keep on doing it until they are beaten. But since we have a lot of people that do want to get playing, I can't pause, I'm a spectator. Gosh dang it. So we will not be doing King of the Hill matches anymore. We will, for tonight at least, we will go on to do select matchups. So just pretty much whoever wants to play gets to play. I will try not to let the same two people play too many times over. We had a player with the stream up, so now that that is clarified, we will be good to go. Thank you for being an honest player, B. That is great. So, in this matchup, we have AciesSpawn spawning as the green Zerg player on the right side here on MLG Metalopolis. And over on the left side, we have the Terran player, B, who we have seen once before today. I think just once. Twice, because he took down the Terran Titan T in an earlier matchup, and was then defeated by AciesPure in the following matchup. So we are going to have a TvZ, which is my worst casting matchup. So I will do my best for you guys, but I am being brutally honest here. Now we do have a 11 pool here from AciesSpawn. So it looks like Spawn might be looking to do a little bit of early aggression, might be looking just to play around. A lot of the time, Metalopolis in the late game will favor Zerg players because of these two attack lanes. It's easy to keep your army grouped up, it's easy to get creep spread, and there's enough room really to get the surround still, unless you just have a massive line of units. There's still enough room to get that surround. So, and Broodlord play, a lot of cliffs, a lot of open space to be able to have Broodlords just kind of sting out, and unless you have an area unit to spot that, you will not know about it. Now, I do not know if B scouted this 11 pool. It looks like there's a drone here to try to stop any SCV from getting in the base. I don't exactly know the plan of that. And we have an early command center from B in this matchup. A very, in fact, that's command center first. And if AciesSpawn was actually to put on any sort of aggression at this point in the game, it's over for B. It'll be over for B right there. And B does get a scouting SCV in the base. I don't know if he will know what to do with the information or what exactly to make of the information. It's a little confusing, I guess, because a hatchery could be dropped right here. And actually, Spawn does go for hatchery. I'm a little bit surprised to see that he didn't go for a bust of some sort. A Baneling bust would actually be quite potent here, I think. But he does decide to throw down that hatchery instead. B, with the macro cheese, goes for CC first. And it should be interesting. We do have the 4 Zerglings running across the field, but they will not be able to do any sort of damage as there is a wall up now. So B may just keep this command center in his base for the time being and make SCVs. That is something that is very popular by a lot of Korean players. Especially, I know Select is not Korean, but especially Select is very popular for doing that, actually. I believe he's actually one of the first to do it. And then Koreans took it a step further, and once they get their expansion, he will drop, the Koreans will drop a 3rd command center in their base, which will allow them just to have a massive amount of SCV production and mule production, and then when they are ready, they already have their command center for their 3rd base. So it's a very popular build by the Korean players. Now we do have a double engineering bay again here from B. We've seen him do a lot of double upgrade play, which is very interesting and very potent. And in this case, I'm not sure it's the right choice. He's going to be trying to play a 1 base versus 2 base Zerg, and really you want to make it at the very least 2 base versus 3 base. For the Terran player, you want Terran to be on 2 base, Zerg can be on 3 base, and the Terran can be alright doing 2 base play. But on 1 base, Terrans just can't get enough. Plain flat out and simple. We do have this double upgrade coming up. Orbital command, being morphed in on the second command center, already done for the first command center. He's really going to need to lift it up and actually take the expansion if he wants any chance of having this double upgrade play to work. Does drop the mule... No, drops a scan instead somewhere right over the main. Sees that there is really nothing going on, nothing interesting. I don't really even think there's much tech down. I think it's just the spawning pool at this point. Spawning pool and one gas. Spawning pool and one gas. A queen over here. My words are failing me tonight. A creep tuber queen over here, ready to spread the creep all over the map. Evolution chamber does go down, just to block off this ramp a little bit. Stop Hellion run-bys that are not coming. Not coming imminently, I should say, as we do have a factory on the way, and there is, that's a pretty far away reactor, but there is a reactor there. There could be Hellion play. I would actually more likely, see B do a blink play. Not blink, siege tank. B does a lot of siege tank play. He very much favors that build. T and B practice together a lot. I know that's a favored build by T, so I would not be surprised to see a tech lab go down on this factory. And armory now being dropped so that B can get that level 2 and weapon and armor. And a very nice time for that to be dropped. It'll be done a little bit after these two upgrades are finished. However, not too long after. And I just want to point out the supply right now. AciesSpawn really starting to take a lead in that right. 17 harvesters ahead of B at this point in the game. This is going to be an interesting thing to see if this worked out. We do have a second factory being dropped. Stimpack now on the way. No starport yet for that medevac that will be needed to support the stim. I guess it's not really needed to support stim, but it's definitely helpful. And yes, chat, crazy freaking Koreans. Metabolic boost almost finished. Roach Warren about halfway done. Lair tech just now popping up. We do have weapons level 2 on the way, as well as siege tech. Siege tech is now on the way. So it looks like we were going to see some heavy bio tank play, which is always a very standard TvZ play. Armor not on the way quite yet, but it looks like we were just kind of waiting for enough gas to do so, and he opted instead to buy a siege tank with that gas, as well as a tech lab, and we will never know what that building was. We will never know. Burrow is now on the way for our Zerg player, and because he's getting roaches and no infestors, we may be seeing some burrowed roach play, and that will be awesome, because burrowed roach play is not used too often anymore. There was a time when it got super popular, and then it just kind of fell off. Now we do have a Spire on the way as well for our Zerg player, and there was a question in the chat, what is the point of double engineering bay? The point is so that you can get the weapons upgrade at the same time as the armors upgrade, so you get a super fast upgrade advantage in the game, especially if your opponent starts his upgrades kind of late. So there is a mass exodus of SCVs over here. Lots and lots of Zerglings dying, and the Spire, my goodness, Spires take a long time to build. We have been watching the Spire forever. Baneling Nest on the way now. Pneumatized Carapace, which I believe is the faster Overlord speed. Yes, faster Overlord speed. And we might be seeing Ventral Sacs even. If he's getting Overlord speed, that is a common follow-up. That is a common follow-up to the pneumatized Carapace, which is once again that kind of rare Overlord upgrade, Overlord speed upgrade. We do have missile attacks level 2 on the way for the roaches, and Flyer Carapace rather than Flyer Weapons level 1 on the way. That is an interesting choice right there, as you will so commonly see the Flyer Weapons upgraded, because when those Mutalisks shoot, their Glade Worms do that splash damage, can hit up to 3 targets, and each time they hit a target, they do that splash damage. And if you get the +1 upgrade, then you do obviously one more damage every time it splashes. So generally that +1 armor upgrade is less seen, but I won't discount it until I see it. Especially with these upgraded Marines, you really don't want your Mutalisks falling so quickly to the Marine fire. Now, there are missile turrets up in the base for B, just a little bit preemptive. However, there is an opening if the Zerg player wishes to get a bunch of Mutalisks and just fly them around, down, and then come back behind the mineral line here, that is a definite opening into B's base. Third base now down and complete for AciesSpawn, as well as a fourth base just now being started. And there is very good map presence again, and once again, I just want to bring attention. Look at the creep spread of AciesSpawn. It is beautiful. He is very quickly creeping up the right lane. He's creeped all the way down to his third, all the way down to his fourth base, even. And as soon, he's even poised to start creeping up the bottom lane. And with that creep spread, it is so easy to reinforce your army. It is so easy to retreat. You get that map vision. It's just absolutely gorgeous to see that much creep on a map, as a lot of Zerg players, even really good players like July, don't get that creep spread. Third base now finishing up for B, and a medevac full of Marines, looking awfully scary over here. However, there is an Overlord here, there's an Overlord here, there's an Overlord here. They are all along this medevac path. AciesSpawn should see this before it gets there, and B, knowing this, decides to drop and just take down an Overlord while he still can. That Overlord might get away without a stim, though, because of this Nubatized Carabase, and those Marines might be a little unhappy. And yes, they are going to go home. They are going to eat their lunches and cry themselves to sleep. Cry themselves to sleep. Overlord, just on a move over here. Once again, very good map awareness by AciesSpawn. He knows what's going on at any point in time in this game. We do have a Thor on the way, as well as a planetary fortress at this third base. Thor, almost an agreeable option. There are 9 Mutalisks on the field. However, with so many Zerglings, I think he should be more focusing on that tank production, just keeping that tank production up in this matchup. He does have, actually, both players keeping down on their macro fairly well, keeping their pooled resources down fairly well. Once again, very good SCV and drone production by both players. It is expected for a Zerg player to be ahead in the drone count. However, B still making those SCVs. Very good for him to do. And a very nice little tank formation here. Could probably use to spread these units out a little bit, as there are Banelings on the field, and 39 Banelings being morphed in right now. That is a lot of Banelings, and that can pretty much just roll over any army if B does not micro well enough. This is going to be a very tense moment for B, as, oh my goodness. And even with centrifugal hooks, they have that speed upgrade. They are super fast on creep. And AciesSpawn looking to get aggressive fairly soon here, maybe backing off now. But with all those Banelings morphed in, he can't really tech up, because that is a lot of gas. That is what, 25 gas per Baneling? Do the math, guys. 25 times, let's just round it up and say 40. And it looks like B's army might be moving into this. This could be a terrible blunder. And instead, AciesSpawn, yes, AciesSpawn is going to go for it. Now here come the Banelings. And that supply count just melted for B. It just instantly dropped by 40. But a very nice pickup by B in this case, getting those siege tanks into the medevacs. And now it looks like AciesSpawn is looking to push in a little bit and be aggressive. He could actually go for this third base and do a lot of damage up there, as there's only a planetary fortress there. If he could pretty much just take out all the SCVs there and fall back. B now looking to be in a very bad position as it is 199 supply to 131 supply, and AciesSpawn has the contain now on B. He could really move in at any point, sack this entire army, and have an entire army created behind it in just a matter of moments. Now, there are a lot of Zerglings being rallied into this army. 6 pages of Zerglings. There are 127 Zerglings on the field. And now 45 Banelings being morphed in, because why not? This is kind of an uncommon play. I don't know who the matchup was between, but it was a ZVP, and the Zerg player actually just went mass Banelings. He didn't have any Zerglings in his army. He just morphed every single last one into a Baneling and completely rolled over the Protoss player, who even had Colossi and Force Field in that matchup. So he might be going for just a Baneling Bonanza play. I almost suspect this is because I told them that the next game was not going to be King of the Hill, so Spawn can really just do whatever he wants. And once again, B knows where this army is. He may not want to engage this, though. There are a lot of units here. He's not prepared to engage. And now the Zerg does push up, and now falls back and pushes up again. And here comes all the Banelings, and now the attack order is given, and everything falls instantly for B. All these Banelings just exploding. Now there's a bit of a surround on those Marines. They all go down to a little bit of Baneling fire, and all these SCVs could go down instantly if so desired. These Banelings should just roll straight into that mineral line and just sack it. let's see if we... Yep, oh my goodness. The banelings completely take out that mineral line and the planetary fortress even. Those are not easy to take down. We do have a mule being dropped over here. Is that a mana mule perhaps? Because these two bunkers are just empty. So many banelings in that combat. That was so entertaining to watch. We have 50 more Zerglings being made and rallied onto the field. And AciesSpawn already maxed out again in this matchup. We do have this Zergling Mutalisk army coming up the bottom side and meeting up with the rest of what was left of the other army. The Mutalisk could really use oh, nope, there are Marines right there. And there's the GG from B. And Mass Baneling apparently is the game of the day. Is the maneuver of the day. That was wow. That was wow. I really don't even know what to say to that. There's really no big analysis I can give other than that was a lot of banelings. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last of our King of the Hill style of game. We will now have two completely new players come back into the scene. I will be back in just a couple minutes, so until then, go on Reddit, upvote my post, go on Facebook, let people know I'm here. I will see you all shortly.